People you think are mentors are lying to you. Your family and friends have been lying to you. Your superiors and bosses have been lying to you. And it's not their fault. I don't think they really know any better. Things have changed. And in real estate, that's a big deal with how you should be investing your money. So we're going to talk about the future of investment in real estate and a little bit of counterculture, because it's going to be fun. Let's jump right in. All right, so I'm not going to say that this channel gets a lot of pushback from the traditional real estate community, but I will say that when it does get pushback, it's from the traditional real estate community. And it really speaks towards that similarity between what we've been told as we've been raised and what the truth is now. So things moved a lot slower 50 years ago. But things 50 years ago moved a lot faster than 200 years ago, and etc. So things have been snowballed with access to information and technology, and things are just moving so much more quickly. And the principles of being adaptive didn't apply 50 years ago. People didn't think that the one prime thing that is going to make you successful is your ability to learn and change constantly. Well, that's one big one now. And your ability to discern information between people who are self-propagating and people who are actually educating, and whether or not that stuff is accurate or insightful. So that's why you're here, isn't it? You're constantly taking in information because you care about your future and you want to do the best that you can for yourselves. And like I said, the very first 3 seconds of this video, the people that you've looked up to your whole life have lied to you, and it's not really their fault. Let's look at the problem with like debt culture and the college culture. They want you to get student loans, to go to school, to work for somebody else, where your average incomes could be $45,000 to $75,000 after your degree. Sometimes not that good. Hopefully more, but you're going to take $35,000 to $150,000 in college debt, depending on where you're going, and then they want you to move into a job while paying off that college debt. That's how you're going to build your credit score, right? By having this 10-year long commitment to your college student loans, and then they want you to go get a mortgage. And when you get a mortgage, you're going to pay like 50% more than the property's value, very commonly, because you're going to do a jumbo loan, which is where you finance almost the whole exact thing. And this has been the principle of American society. And maybe it worked before, like leveraging the mortgage was easier back in the day, where people made more money compared to what a home would cost, even as little as 30 to 40 years ago. But that's not the case anymore. So in order for you to effectively acquire equity, you're going to have to do it in a creative way. And so one major way that you can build equity in a kind of counterintuitive and non-obvious way is to start a company, right? This is one thing that I think a lot of people don't understand, is companies have value. If you build a business that is profitable, that company is worth something because of the anticipated future profits. It's just that simple. So in the world of real estate, you can buy a home through yourself and own a home, homestead it, or you can buy a home through a business, and that business owns the real estate as part of a real estate portfolio. People do this with multifamily, hotels, corporate or commercial properties, etc. Happens all the time, right? Banks typically are the ones that own the property because you're always leveraged against it, or you have a mortgage against it, or a bank note against it. And do you really ever own the property, right? So with that in mind, you form an LLC and you pick up property. According to this channel's philosophy, we do rental arbitrage, which is where you will rent a property and then you will furnish that property, and then you'll rent it to somebody who's traveling in your town for a huge markup, and then whatever you keep after you pay your rents and for your housekeepers is profit. That's rental arbitrage. And it was easy for me to build. I started this 5 years ago with about $4,000. And ever since then, I wasn't really taking it seriously until 2017 when the Super Bowl hit in Houston, and that's when I really started to double down and triple down and like build the business. This whole time, I was still a business owner. I actually own a company that helps newspapers from going out of business. That's another thing that I'm still involved in today, and that involves designing technology, branding campaigns, hiring entry-level sales staff, training them to storytell, training them to give presentations. That's a really hard industry to be in, and this Airbnb rental arbitrage world has been much more simple. With all of that said, it doesn't matter if you end up in something like what we do, like rental arbitrage, or if you build a business that helps journalists stay in business, like my first company. Like, obviously you're very unlikely to do that one, but the core of the problem here is that we get assimilated into a culture that has different values than what will allow us to be successful today. Those values may have been right 50 years ago, or they might have been right for those parents of the persons that told you that 50 years ago. Things have changed so fast. And the biggest thing that's changed so fast is how fast things are changing. So instead of you just taking face value at your parents saying to get, go to college, regular job, and mortgage a home, instead do exactly what you're doing now and continue to educate yourself and then make a decision on what you think the world is going to be 2 years from now. Don't decide what to do today based on what the world is today. Things are moving so fast, you need to hit a moving target, right? So spot the wall 2 years from now and decide, where do I need to be to take advantage of another low barrier to entry opportunity? Because with how quickly people can gain information, you will either have to greatly outwork people or greatly outlearn people. And I think that outlearning people gives you a second shot, because even if you miss it, you can still outwork them, right? So learn to learn. You're here to learn, so congratulations, you're already halfway there, or most of the way there. I welcome you to watch the rest of this channel. We've got tons of videos on not just rental arbitrage, but we'll talk about other business things as well. So if you have questions about building your success, leave it in the comments. I'm here for you. So thanks for watching Airbnb Automated, and I'll see you on the other side.